It's so fun to watch parent-child teams on the race. It's just not an experience once the kid is an adult that you get too often. What made you guys apply for the race in the first place?
We had always been watching the show. Growing up, it was always us with my mom and my sister watching it and just having fun debates on who we thought could go on the show and handle it. And just through my dad always being my coach on various teams growing up, and then the ability to handle my dad under pressure was just it was agreed that our family thought that we would kill it on The Amazing Race. So last year, my dad was like, "Let's just make a tape," and I we made a tape, and I hit submit before he could think twice about it, and then we were on the show.
Yeah, no takebacks. Make it
No take,
No
happen.
yeah.
take backs. No time to think.
And then when you're standing there in Los Angeles and Phil is like, go, what is that moment like?
Wow. It was on. It was on at that point. Uh, what I found very amazing when Phil said go, Bridget took leadership right away. Right away. She was able to get the things we needed. Jumped in the car. Right away, she broke everything out, reading. She goes, Dad, I'll get it when we get in the car. She broke out things where I needed to go, the instructions, and I just followed her lead. Yeah.
The minute he says go, it finally hits you how real it is. I think when you get casted for The Amazing Race, you're excited and it's like this whole dream come true, but it doesn't feel real until Phil is like, the world is waiting for you. And he says, go. And then all of a sudden you're running to your backpack to get your backpack and your fanny pack. And all of a sudden you're doing it. And it is just nerves are high, but it's also the most exciting experience ever.
What were the tasks that you guys maybe were most excited for, looking for? What did you think your strengths were going to be?
We wanted physical challenges. We wanted to jump out of airplanes. We wanted to eat weird food. We wanted to do physical. We were ready for anything physical. We've run marathons, we've done triathlons. We knew physical was going to be our sweet spot and a spot that maybe the other teams would underestimate us on. Um, but then we got musical challenges. And that's what we always knew would be our downfall. I mean, we managed to skate by with the dance in the first leg, and we thought, okay, that's it. It has to be physical next. And then we got drumsticks.
Yeah, surprisingly, these artistic creative tasks here in the first couple episodes, when you see, first off, it's an intersection. And so that means you have to team up with another team. Are you a little nervous at this at first?
Oh, absolutely. But at this particular intersection, we were in third place. So
We
Bridget
were
and
in
I,
first place
we're in first place at that
when
time.
we got to the
Yeah,
intersection.
But we're in
you
intersection.
grabbed the
We
clue.
were in first
Yeah,
place at the
yeah.
intersection, but we thought we were in third place at that
We
time.
Mm.
thought we were in third,
Right,
but we
right,
were in first.
right. We were in first place, but we thought we were in third place. So we already had believed that the other two teams were ahead of us, and they had probably already left. But then when we found out we were in first place, and that now we had to decide when the other team comes how we were going to be able to move on. And it worked out that we got with a fantastic team.
Yeah, I think the intersection though, it's one thing when you're just competing with your partner that you plan to be on the race with and you know your partner, but then that added pressure with competing with another team, and not only are you responsible for each other, but you're responsible for the future of this other team. It's like a
It's a whole
whole nother ball game and so stressful. And sitting down there with Brett while my dad and Mark were up there was like one of the hardest experiences I've ever gone through.
It seemed like it. And yeah, tell me, what the heck? What's the key to drumming? What was the
uh,
secret here?
He'll let you know after his lessons.
paying attention to the rhythm and knowing your cues.
But it was a long routine.
Yeah.
It
There
was a
was
long
a
routine. It wasn't just one bar. If it was one bar, we were good. You
Mhm.
got to the second bars, and you have to remember where yours are at. Mark did an excellent job, and I could have done a better job. Should have done a better job.
No, he did great. He
Mhm.
kept it going, didn't
Yeah.
give up, and that's all you can ask for.
Absolutely. I can't imagine the mental sort of gymnastics you're going through. You're trying to do this drum routine. You've got another team. You've got your daughter. You just have to keep trying. We see you kind of have to take a break after a little while. What were you telling yourself to get through it?
To relax, to just relax. I was trying too hard.
Mm.
I had to find that relaxation spot. So I had to at one point just remove myself from everyone else, go out there and practice on my own. And when I finally started doing that, I was able to come back in. There were some points I thought maybe I even had it, but obviously didn't. So
Then you guys move on to sumo. And I mean, honestly, I couldn't tell what the heck was the key with this one. People were getting it and people were not getting it. And how was it tied? And I imagine your stress is just really high at this point.
Yeah, I think this is something we were talking about, like watching it back last night. We were just so excited to get there and see that there were other teams that we just zoned in and just wanted to compete in that challenge and get it done. And stress levels were high, but we were so hyped that we caught up to a couple of other teams. But I wish, and this is something we talked about, and you don't want to go spiral. There's so many things you can always do, hindsight 2020, but like seeing what the mochi challenge was, and what I wish we would have done is when we got to the sumo challenge, the fact that there were so many other teams still doing that should have been a sign to try mochi. And I'm there's like a part of me that's like, if we would have done mochi, there's a chance we would not be talking to you today. And but it is what it is. Everything happens for a reason.
Yeah, you just never know.
yeah.
Switching takes time.
Like,
So once you are leaving and you're headed to the mat, what's the mindset? Do you feel like you have a chance?
We're still very positive, and we're hoping that it would be a foot race, or maybe the folks ahead of us may make some form of an error.
Mhm.
yeah, we were low key hoping for the downfall of Han and Holden, hoping that maybe their taxi ran out of gas, got lost. We were trying to stay positive because we knew we weren't too far behind them. We knew when we finally got the next clue, they were probably still in the car on their way there. So we were just staying positive, staying hopeful because you really never know with the Amazing Race. So we were just trying to keep that mindset.
Yeah.
But then you're standing on the mat. Phil gives you the news. What is that moment like?
It was bittersweet. I mean, I was so proud of us. I Something that I had to keep reminding myself is I'm here with my dad. We're in Osaka, Japan. Not a lot of people get to go on the Amazing Race and do something like this. Um, so it was bittersweet just trying to like take the moment in and like kind of stay in that moment for as long as possible. But obviously, like I'm competitive. I didn't want to be out. But it was still a special moment with my dad. So
For me, it was a blessing, and not to be out of the game, but to actually be standing there with my daughter, and to actually go through all those different emotions with my daughter, to go through all those different challenges of pulling at the heartstrings, the mind, the mental stuff, and we came out stronger. And what for me personally, I came out knowing that my daughter is the bomb. She is a leader. She's strong. She's resilient. And if I had to leave the earth today, I know one thing: my daughter has the ability to keep things moving. So the game, I love the game. Cato's need a do-over. But I tell you that I got the opportunity to watch Wonder Woman. How many times you get to walk around with Wonder Woman? I got Wonder Woman on my side, so it just meant a lot to me. Even sitting here now having this discussion with you. So,
Yeah, I mean,
I'm
it's
humbled.
so hard to even get on the race.
Right.
And then no matter how long you last in the race, this is time that you're having together that a lot of other families don't get.
Mhm.
And you mentioned having the opportunity to talk together more. What does it feel like to just have this quality time together?
It's great. I think something going into the race that I thought my dad and I would struggle with is him seeing me as his bubble gum and taking the reins and just having to kind of that conflict where like I want to do one way, go one way and he wants to go the other and then just battling it out. But something that was amazing was the fact that we were able to form a partnership. And that's instead of like the coach daughter dynamic or father daughter, it truly felt like my dad was my partner in the race. And that was something that I'll cherish forever.
Let's be clear. I'm Bridget's daddy. I'm Bubblegum's daddy. So let's be clear. I'm her daddy. But being able to realize that I can also be her partner and that I can listen and I can actually be led by my daughter, that's very strong. But I'm always going to be her daddy. All right,
We won't take that from you. We won't. Yes.
okay, all right, okay.
Watching the show, then you get cast, you're gonna prep. I'm sure you guys did a lot of preparation to go on the race. Was there something though that surprised you once you actually were on the show that you didn't expect?
Something that I keep saying is it's so easy to watch the show and watch them do these challenges from your couch. And you are just like, come on, like this isn't that hard. Like, why aren't you getting it? And it's so easy to yell at the TV from your couch. And it's something I definitely did while watching the show. I would never understood why someone couldn't get a certain task. And once you're on the show, there is so much pressure that I didn't even anticipate. And you're just constantly like on the go. You're constantly on the move. And I don't think anything can truly prepare you for the intensity that is being on the Amazing Race. So, yeah, from the couch, an activity like tying a sumo wrestler costume might seem really easy and something that should be quick. But when you are in those scenarios, there's just so much added pressure of seeing the other teams like come in and leave, or like just constantly being on is something that I did not anticipate coming into the race.
And I think with the show, you have to have the ability to step back. You have the ability to step back and just take that moment to see what's going on. You just can't dive into everything.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I can't imagine the adrenaline. Yeah, the
Yeah.
intensity seems intense for sure. Well, it was so lovely to watch you, and I really appreciate your time today.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much, Sarah. It's so nice to meet you.